For 40 years, Majid Sadiq Al-Safar has hammered sheets of copper into works of art. The intricate handwork was taught to him by his father, who learned from his father. Safar's family has worked from this stall for as long as anyone can remember, but he's afraid he's the last one.
My sons are not going to follow my footsteps. Unfortunately, they believe this profession is going to be extinct. There are just a handful of us artisans remaining due to the poor security and economic conditions of the country, as well as the lack of foreign tourists.
Baghdad's Safafir market has been around for centuries. All sorts of goods are sold here, but for generations it was the top destination for traders from across the Middle East looking for highly prized copper handicrafts. That only started to change with the US-led Gulf War in 1990. At the time, there were hundreds of stalls selling handmade copper goods in the market. Now, only around 15 shops remain, with just 5 still crafting new pieces.
The artisans of the Safafir copper market say it's not just successive wars, economic sanctions, and now nearly non-existent tourism that has hurt their profession. It's also the growing popularity of cheaply made factory goods that are produced in a similar style.
This coffee pot was imported from India. Safar says goods like these are roughly assembled by machines and are made out of inexpensive materials. But the replicas cost less than a quarter of his handmade creations, so he says he's left with little choice but to sell them in order to keep his business afloat.
When I sell one of my handmade items, it feels like parting with a piece of my body. Would you believe? It's because I spent so many hours making the piece. I know each sharp detail of it. I dare these factory machines to craft such beautiful art like this.
Copper artisans are now calling on the government to invest in the industry, but few have much hope it will, and are all but certain Iraq's long tradition of copper craftsmanship will soon disappear for good. Mittelstand Al Jazeera at the Safafir market in central Baghdad.